Hello everyone and welcome to this first part of the tutorial on using my new QuickTileMap. It's a little class I've made up so that people can use Sprite Sheets instead of tile maps, which will save on a lot of space and that's wasted and stuff. Like as you can see here, this is the tile map that's made up of this PNG file here. If I load it up, it's a 2000 by 2000 wide, and you can see that basically all of this space is just being wasted in memory and stuff. We'll come back to that. So obviously this method where we're using Sprite Sheets, it cuts all the tiles out, and now there's only just a little handful of tiles. It's quicker to load, space saving, you know, there's a lot of benefits to it and that. And also you'll be able to protect your artwork as well, because you'll be able to use encrypted tile sheets. So at the moment we've got this here, which is just the basic tile editor. And if I run it, you're going to see it's just a very uninteresting plain Jane thing. We can whack a few tiles on it here. Yeah, I'll save that. Sorry for the whizzing about. Okay, so this first tutorial is just going to be about how we create these Sprite Sheets and how we can do an encrypted version. So let's get rid of that. So, sorry, we're back here at the moment. So what I use, you can use whatever tile sheet, you know, Sprite Packer or whatever it is, Texture Packer, Sprite Packer, whatever you want to use to create your sheets and that. I use a Texture Packer. Now, the way that I normally this should normally be your entire tile sheet that you're creating. I'm using 64 by 64 pixels. If I view the show the grid at the moment, that's what I'm working with. So and as you can see, there's all these many tiles just being wasted and that. This is just wasted space, which is what this points to. So if I trash that and I say new tile set and I embed it, I will point it to, I've got little game assets here, yeah? So this is your content in your project, and this is your game assets, and I point it to the map there, which, as you see, opens up, and that is this one here. Yeah, it's a PNG file. Let me open that back up. So did I close the other one down? So if I open that up now, the way that I edit it is, oh dear, let's go back. We'll show the grid. Right, so let's just say I colour one of these squares in here. It doesn't really matter which one, but let's just put some stuff in there like that. That's a good enough sprite, isn't it? Maybe we could put some arms and legs on it or what have you. Right, so that's that done. So we want to now save that out, export that as a PNG. Now, as a side note, before everybody says I'm hating on Adobe and what have you, I'm using GIMP because GIMP is a graphics package, not a photo package. Although you probably could use it for photos, but there are a couple of problems if you're going to use Photoshop. One is when you start going in here and you start saying I want a pixel there, you'll find that Photoshop wants to go and stick a pixel there because it can't go down to pixel level for some reason, but that's because it's a photo editing package. This is a real graphics package which allows you to go right down to the pixel level. I mean, it will do it, but you're going to find that it jumps about and it's really fiddly. But that's not the main problem with it. Is Unfortunately with Photoshop I found what it actually does is when you export to PNG it causes artifacting in your graphics and that. So say like this ladder here, or representation of a ladder, when you actually look at your PNG file you're going to see that there's like all these like little bits in it and that. It's not good, and it's been in there from day one, I think from like CS6 or something. So in order to get around that I'm using GIMP because it just outputs the PNG file without artifacting. So anyway, right, let's there is a way around it, sorry, in Photoshop. If you do want to use it, what I would suggest to get around the artifacting, which I had to do, is you have to export to a BMP file, the Microsoft Windows BMP file, and then use something like Image Magic, command line Image Magic, to convert it to a PNG. Other than that, you know, use whatever package you want, but you know, check for artifacting and what have you, because you will get it in there, and it's still in there as far as I know. So I just use this and it's job done. So anyway, right, let's export that to the tile map. You can call it whatever you want. So that's that out and saved now. So I've got my new little red sprite here. Now you will need to have Python installed, and you need the version 3 because we need to cut up all of these tiles now. So these are all my tiles in here. I'll get rid of them. Go back, and I use this little script here. I'll just open that. Now if you're using a different tile size, change that to your tile size, or if you're using 32 then change it to 32, and it's just a little script that just cuts out all the tiles without mucking about and that. So as you can see I've got a tiles directory here, and I can double click on it, and then when I look in there you'll see that it's cut out all these tiles really quick, and now we're not wasting all the space. We've only got a few tiles here, but we can do better than that because we're using the texture packer. Things like this tile here, you can see there's quite a lot of space being used there, but texture packer will just take that part and put it into your sprite sheet. As I said, you can use whatever packer you want. So now we've got all of our tiles, we're going to go back. So now we're going to go into my sprite sheet, and as you can see these are all the things I've got in here is all my tiles, and they're all numbered 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.png. So it's all done for you automatically, so it's that quick. Just, you know, double click that, double click the slicer, and it will reslice it. Yeah, get rid of all of the wasted space. And then as you can see, texture packer, what it's done now is it's now done what it can. As I said, look, you can see, yeah, where is it? Display the outlines, and you can see that it's really done its best to, you know, chop all these things up. And as I said, these little sprites here, so it's really, really great on space saving and memory and everything. And plus we also get the speed of a sprite sheet as well, which you'll see in the program when I come to do the second part of it. And I'll do a talk on, you know, what's going on in the engine and how to get around it and stuff. Sorry, let me just check that I'm still recording because I'm up a couple of windows. As you can see, I use multiple views. So right, okay, so now we need to write this thing out. So make sure you're all set up here. Now I've got mine on trimmed names and that. I'll go into the engine in a bit. That's because of these things are all named 000.png. What that means is when I click that on, it removes the .png. So now all the files, when I'm searching for them, is a little bit quick because it don't got to search for .png. But if you want to use PNG, I've left it in the QuickMap. If you go up to the top, so that's the main, in the actual QuickTileMap here, I've left this on here, so if you do want to use PNGs, you can just uncomment that, and what it does is it just adds the extension on, or if you want to use JPEG or whatever you want. So you can use PNG if you want, but I like to chop the names off, and now they're all 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 and what have you. So we're going to write that out as a PNG 32. So we'll save that out, and then we'll run my pre-cooked program, and you'll see that that's what we've got in there now. And now you can just go along and do I? Oh, because I've done that. Alright, let's do a new one then. I didn't save it out, but yeah, some sort of artistry like that, and we'll have a football. So if I save that now, oops, wrong way, oops, sorry, get rid of that, rerun it, and you see there we are. So we've got the tile maps there, and you'll be able to get to every part of the tile map in this program, but we'll come on to that. This is just about doing the actual tile sheet, sprite sheet, and getting it into the program. Right, okay, so now let's talk about encrypted sprite sheets, because I know a lot of you would like to protect your data and stuff. Oh, and there's the new sprite that I added. So the way that we do that, or the way that we do that in Texture Packer, is we need to change our content here. Now I'm going to use the CZZ, you can use which one you want, but either one of these I think you can use, you just got to change the name. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to content protection. That's how easy they've done it, and yes, why I like the Texture Packer, is quick. And it's going to give you these numbers, or you're just going to create a key, yeah? And these numbers are in sets of 8, yeah? I don't know if that is 8, but they're done like that when we go into the program itself. So that will generate a key for you, because at the moment what you'll see, and don't forget to take it out before you publish, as you can see, here's my sprite sheet here, and it's all nicely packed and that, and you can see that all nice and clear, no artifacting or anything like that. I'll come on to the text in a minute, because you're going to need to, because we're using BMP text files, and I'll show you how to do that. But yeah, nice and clear, no artifacting or anything. That's another great feature of Texture Packer. Right, yeah, so that one's running unencrypted at the moment. Where did we, right, so that's unencrypted. Now, I'm going to change this to CCZ, and I'm going to publish that sprite sheet now. So now that's using the encryption with that key. I'll get rid of that. I'll save it as that. Now if I go to run this program, you're going to see it's just going to bugger out, because of it doesn't know how to decrypt the tile map, and I'll show you the sprite map, and I'll show you the sprite map now. You'll see that on that CCZ it had that, so we now delete that. So now we're using encrypted. Okay, there's no way to read that. If I put that into GIMP, it's just going to be a load of garbled gibberish. We're opening my notepad as well. So there we are, as you can see, it's just a load of nonsense. So that's it now, our encrypted sprite sheet. Now we're going to hop over to our program, QuickTileMap, because now we need to set up for encrypted. And the way that that's done is, when you're using my program, I've done it right at the very beginning in the main scene, and you can see that we have to load, before we load the quick map, we have to get our sprite sheet. Yeah, but because we're using encrypted now, we're now going to use this line here, and as you can see, this is the same numbers that was generated in the sprite sheet. All you need to do is add an OX on the beginning. They run in 8 numbers, 8, 8, 8 and 8. Just whack that in there. and then that's it done. Then recompile. Don't change anything else. You don't need to change this thing because it all points to it anyway. Now, I am going to have to recompile to show you. So let me just run. Is it run? Oh no, it was build actually. Let's do build. I'm going to rebuild my exe because we're now using encryption. Okay, that's it built. In there, in there, and in there. And then as you can see, our tile map is back and we are now using an encrypted tile set with all of its benefits and stuff. Yep, so you can now go along and add all your layers and stuff. So we'll insert one of these guys here to show we're not cheating. Now I haven't put any rotation in that because if you're going to do that as you go along, but I'll come on to that later. So yep, there you go. And then as I said, contents, it's all encrypted up now. Yeah. So that's all we need to do now for encrypted tile sets or tile maps and what have you. So you can now protect all your data and that you want and just carry on. So I'm going to end the video there because that's all we've needed at the moment for this part, and then I will come on to the QuickTileMap because there's quite a bit to go through, and I'm going to show you how to get to every part of tile map. So it's going to be quite an in-depth long video, you know, including, you know, animations and stuff that you can put in there. Sorry, I'm clicking the wrong bit there, so let's have a football change to that or something. That'll do. Sorry, need to rerun that again now. So there we are. So we have all the animations and that in there. So yes, that's going to end the video. So that's how we can use our sprite sheets and that. Just create one. I'm going to give you all the tools there. It's just in this games asset. You need to install Python in order to use this to slice up the tiles, yeah? And don't forget to go in there and change it to your size. If you're using tiles of 128 by 128, change it to 128. Yeah? Create your sprite sheet and then pass it to it. There is one more thing to talk about actually before you go, and that is fonts. You'll also notice in there that I had a font that's in there. How do I get back to that now? It doesn't show up on here because I haven't put it into the thing there. Now if you want to create fonts, use your favourite font program for creating BMPs. Mine is, let's get to the directory there. In here, I got my sprites, and you can see this is my little font file that I created. So that goes into the sprite sheet as well. You can add that separately, which once you get into the engine, you'll be able to call other things. So if you had like high resolution things, just because you had a thing there that was 64 by 64 pixels, you'll be able to say, hey, I want to change that for my high def sprite, yeah, and put that in your sprite sheet. So you're going to add that into your sprite sheet, and then to get to your fonts, there's this font file here. Now I don't know whether it's been hard coded or whether it's just the pathing and that, but don't put your font file there once you get your font file. So it's this font file here. All you need to do is edit your font file and point it to the sprite sheet that you called. So if you're using .png, you just change that to PNG. Now before, when I was using it before the Axmol update, I used to have it in the font file there, and I would just literally used to do that, go back one directory and get the file. But as I said, because the path is hard coded, it, no matter what you do, you know, you could be doing this all day long, it still tags on font at the end of it, so it's a bit of a nuisance. So I've just put my file on the outside of the contents here. It's only the one file that I'm using. Yeah, so you point that to this file here, or if you're using PNG, you put PNG or JPEG or whatever you're using. And that's all you need to do for your fonts. And then for your text, you should be able to then put your text in, and let's make it a bit bigger. It won't matter what you've called the font, because of we're using bitmap fonts or what have you, so it's whatever that bitmap is what it is. So we'll do that and save that, and we'll run it. Got to go down the directories again, release, and hopefully we should have some text there. Oops, I've put it on the back. But yeah, you can see where this is going. Have I not reversed the order? Where did I put that? Oh, I know what I've done. Oh, okay, it's supposed to be the other way around, didn't I? Didn't I save it? Right, so you on the bottom, and that object on top. I don't know why it's going behind there. I'll have a look at that in a second. Okay, I don't know what the game is there. But anyway, right, so that's where we're at the moment. So that's all you need to know. So create your font, put your font into your texture packer, yeah, and then in your contents, just change the directory here, because it will say font this and what have you, but you just literally change it to your thing. And that's it, job done. Right, so let's end the video, and I'll catch up with you in the next one, and we'll go for a deep dive into the engine and what's happening and how you're going to use it and how you're going to get about. Because with this version of the engine, you're able to get to every part of the tile maps. Every little bit you'll be able to get to, but you're going to need to know how to get to it. So, right, I will see you in the next video.